Introducing a star referee, Bob Williams of Watford. Boxing out of the blue corner, scaling officially at 11 stone, 11 pounds, 3 ounces. This is fight number 11 of his professional career. Wearing the white shorts trimmed with black and gold and boxing out of Walsall, the West Midlands. Introducing Kearon Thomas. Across the ring, boxing out of the red corner, stands his undefeated opponent. Scaling at 11 stone, 9 pounds, 12 ounces. 9 fights as a professional, 8 victories and 1 draw make up his record. Wearing black, trimmed with gold. In the ring this evening as Birmingham's body breaker, introducing the undefeated Idris Virgo.
Okay, lads, obey my commands. In the event of a knockdown, the fighter standing will go to the furthest neutral corner and stay there. Protect yourself at all times. Touch back, boys. Let's have a good one. 6 rounds. You ready, son? Mr. Timekeeper.
For the first round.
So it's a 10th professional outing then for the self-styled body breaker, Idris Virgo. The man who says, yes, I was in Love Island, but I show no love in that ring. And he steps up to 6 rounds here as his professional journey continues, Richie.
Yeah, I've been quite impressed with him, to be quite honest. I mean, he's got a lot to learn, but he's very positive in his contest. There's a bit of flair about him, with a decent right hand, and I think he'll need it tonight with this right hand over the top against an opponent in Kearon Thomas who's a little bit taller. And straight away you can see Thomas he's going for the hit and move style, so it might be a little bit tricky for Virgo to land that right hand, but that's the shot. There he is on cue. That's the shot he'll be looking for.
Well, Kearon Thomas had to wait until his 9th fight for his first win. It's a 2nd round stoppage of a fighter making his debut, Rob Garvey, a fight that I don't think he was expected to win, but he was dropped by a left hook. Garvey was stopped on fairly shaky legs, but Thomas himself has been stopped 3 times in all, and that Garvey fight remains his only win. Just a bit of talk around the place, though, that Thomas might be a bit more than an opponent tonight and fancy the job, but Virgo has started positively here.
Not an awful lot of action quite yet. Virgo takes centre of the ring. That's probably the best exchange there. Lands a good left hook to the body. Thomas is trying to keep it at double distance, moving around the ring. Virgo looks like a good athlete. You know, he looks like a strong, powerful guy. I like his stance. Like he just weights on the back leg. He's got great mobility from the hips. You know, his head moves side to side. At the moment, he's just struggling to close the ring down and cut Thomas off in front of him so that he can let his hands go. Of course, that comes with experience.
I think the Love Island experience is often used a little bit against Idris Virgo. Of course, 1 or 2 bits of his behaviour haven't been great either, I guess, but that's just him building the brand and trying to use social media to his advantage. But I think often he gets bracketed with the YouTubers and so on, but that's really unfair because he's trying to learn the trade and he's learning it pretty well. Little slip there from Kearon Thomas.
You got to remember, he only boxed last week as well, so it's good that he's boxing regular. Anyone will tell you that in boxing, as long as you're boxing on a regular basis, you're going to improve. You know, you a little bit of training in between, obviously, but getting fights regular, George, that's a real positive.
Definitely. I mean, a week apart, I don't even think I managed that, Rich. I think 3 fights in 5 weeks once. That was my best effort.
Well, we can have a little listen to Anthony Hill in that Idris Virgo corner.
When you put the pressure on it, when you put the you've got to work.
It's just a full run, come out of 2-3 shots. Yeah, just do come out of 2 fast shots. It's a big shot. Yeah, just touch the body a little bit more. Right?
When you can phone up, it's easy to get phoned up. Okay? Start letting a couple of your shots go.
Corners, 10 seconds.
You understand that?
Seconds out. Round 2.
So round 2 of a scheduled 6 between Idris Virgo in those black and gold shorts against Kearon Thomas, who's really been fighting out of the away corner since he turned pro last June at the age of 30. Trying to make a living out of the sport and trying to make the odd impact here and there. That was a good right hand to the body from the body breaker, Idris Virgo.
And that's what his corner said, didn't they? So right at the end of the minute, the conversation was literally you've got to switch downstairs and target the body. That's what you do against any good moving boxer. You've got to slow those legs down a little bit, hurt him downstairs, and then the legs will slow down, and then obviously you can work up the target to the head. But I think with Thomas, his boxing is all based around movement. He's hitting, he's moving, he's making things very, very awkward. He's not doing enough to win the rounds, but with him being awkward, George, it's difficult to get a shot, isn't it, on him if he keeps on the move all the time.
Definitely. Well, Virgo, even though he's giving away height, he actually lowers his head height slightly more than the average fighter, which is not a bad thing, it's a very good thing. But because of that, he has to close the ring off. At the moment, he's following Thomas round a little bit too much, and then he's always out of punching range for his good work. If he creeps in like that slow, he's going to get hit on the way in by the guy with the longer arms. So he needs to cut the ring off and then spring with an attack. As this fight builds, Virgo will probably sense that. He'll be pressing more. If he presses correctly, he can have more success. But if he presses by following with just more tenacity and effort, he might walk onto more shots.
Needs to set everything up with that jab as well, Idris Virgo. When he uses it consistency, it looks a good weapon. Doesn't often throw it with that much conviction, though, Idris Virgo. One of the many things I'm sure they'll be working on. This will be a little bit of trepidation when it's your first time beyond 4. Be aware of that. That was a good left to the body, and I think he sensed there that he hurt Thomas. Thomas still wincing, still struggling after that body shot.
Yeah, Thomas there, he's showing the deal. He's showing he was really hurt, George, didn't he? That hook went downstairs, hurt him, and he showed it to his opponent.
Yeah, he couldn't hide that. It was just all over his face.
Look at this, the attack now is sustained from Idris Virgo. Brings back memories of that body shot against Josh Hodgins, the one that went viral. And he cleverly switches back upstairs after throwing a hook to the body that time. On unsteady legs here, Thomas, but approaching the end of this second round.
Step back, step back. Box on. Stop boxing. Stay back.
Yeah, stay back. You all right? Yeah. Okay, you only let him catch it because he started. Yeah. Quick start.
Well, Idris Virgo certainly listened to his corner. He went downstairs, that left hook to the body. It was a good shot. 2 or 3 times he went downstairs, and there, that was the one that really hurt Kearon Thomas. He's shown Virgo that he was in trouble, in pain, and Virgo then just poured on the pressure, kept switching, body to head, and had a great last 30 or 40 seconds.
I don't think much of Kearon Thomas's poker face. It was written all over it, the pain from that body shot.
Corners, 10 seconds. Smart. Seconds out. Round 3.
His only stoppage was that left hook to the body against Hodgins. Idris Virgo, he'd love to get another one here, and he certainly has an opponent now that he knows he can hurt. Still looks wary there, Thomas, still boxed off the back foot.
And when you concentrate downstairs on some body shots, then you create a great opportunity to actually land the headshot, because your opponent then, you know, he notices that you're going downstairs, he's getting caught. He keeps his elbows tucked in, and that's when you can do a little feint and switch with that right hand over the top. George, you were very, very good at it with that right hand yourself. And like I say, it's good, isn't it, to go to the body and then switch the attack upstairs, fools the opponent.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you're always trying to anticipate what's ahead. You know, you're trying to set traps, and then again, you're talking about like varying the power. So it's just touching somewhere to put the thought process to, you know, maybe on the left side, and then you wing a right on coming in from the right side, or you go wide and then you punch narrow. You go downstairs, then you change it to a headshot. So Virgo now trying to catch him fire. He's holding both his hands out in front of his face just to give a different look to Thomas. It's good, but he wants to stay sharp behind that, because Thomas is going to look to punch when his hands are not covering his chin.
So we're halfway through the third round of a scheduled 6 here. Had that tough opponent in the shape of Kevin McCauley last week. We're going to see him in action later on tonight against Michael Hennessy Jr. He just hurt Thomas a little bit again there to the body. You could see that sharp exhalation from the taller man.
Right, step back, come on. Box on, listen to me, come on, walk away, come on boys.
I think he's in survival mode now, Kearon Thomas. If he wasn't right from the start, that's where we are right now.
Yeah, and the confidence is with Virgo. He just switched to southpaw then, showing lots of confidence. Probably needs to use his jab a little bit more just to create the openings. But it's a survival mission now for Thomas. He's a tough kid, let's face it. He's took some good shots, he really has. But now he's getting caught, and you can see the confidence with Virgo.
Right, step back. Come on, boys. Step back. Listen to me.
Yeah, he's only boxed once since that victory, that sole victory against Rob Garvey. Had to retire on his stool against a debutant in Keenan Brown Wingfield. One of the 3 stoppages on his record. He's done well to survive this third round.
Don't let him out, show him the ball, you know. Just show him the ball.
Watch his body. When you throw him out, watch his body, because then he's got nowhere to go.
Good round for Virgo, I thought. Positive on that front foot. Got to set things up better with his jab, but again, switching downstairs. Thomas constantly on the move, but here just gets caught with that left hook to the body, so that's a good shot, and Thomas just scampers away along the ropes. But I thought very positive, and he, as I say, keeps coming forward, looking for those body shots. Thomas shakes his head, but that's probably the solid. It was a good punch.
That's what it says after. You let him get there and let him get out, won't you?
Idris, what I'm just saying is close him down with an aggressive jab, go wide to his body. Quarters, 10 seconds. When he goes to the body, bring you up to the head. You got it? Seconds out. Round 4.
You can hear the words of John Pegg there towards the end of that chat in the corner. Good advice for Idris Virgo. Really assiduous as well. He works so hard. He listens. He desperately wants to get better. He's part of this really positive team that Nick Hennessy is starting to build now. All good friends, all close. You see them all cheering each other on. Idris will be watching Shakan Pitters later on, no question about that. Be a vocal supporter of him. It's turning into a nice little story around this stable.
Right, step back, step back.
Virgo drifts to his left a lot behind the jab, especially when he double jabs, and it's giving Thomas an out to his left. So you could hear the corner tell him to use the jab, hook to the body. I didn't quite catch the final instruction, and I assume it's a long loopy right hand. Thomas is breaking out to the left. But he's got to cut the ring off better to set up that shot in the first place. It was a nice right hook then, and behind the elbow from Virgo.
Right, step back. Box on. Come on in.
Nicely balanced boxer, Idris Virgo. He's easy on the eye, isn't he? From that uppercut there.
I think Dave as well. Thomas has posed a couple of problems here tonight for Virgo. George alluded to it about the movement from Thomas. It has been a problem for Virgo to cut that ring space down a little bit better. He's followed his opponent around a little bit too much without using his jabs. He's got to step across rather than just following him. So he'll go back. He'll learn from this, most certainly. But when he does let those hands go, especially downstairs to the body, then yeah, he looks pretty impressive.
Long right hand there. Yeah, that left hook to the body we just saw a moment ago. There it goes again. And then he mixes it up and that straight right hand.
Stop boxing! Stop boxing!
Biting down on his gum shield here, Kearon Thomas. Great courage from him.
Right, stop boxing!
Virgo corner there saying wider, wider as he threw the right hook. He was very close. He did land. They're talking about hitting him wider just to not allow him, Thomas to move out to his left side and then follow up.
Right, step back, step back. Get up.
Deep breath. And listen to what Andy tells you.
Listen,
Deep
work
breath.
the arm. When you close the gap down like that, you've got to work. Don't just hold one single shot there. You could swallow to the body of the wall. Come back up the leg.
The corner wanted a little bit more work from Virgo, but there was a couple of good shots here, I thought. There's that right hand, that was a super punch. A couple of good left hooks to the body went in also. Just avoids the punches there, so good head movement from Virgo. I thought it was a decent round. But again, he'll learn from it. He's got to cut the ring down a little bit better, but nevertheless, a positive round.
Not just boxing, no. He's ready to go. But you've got to get a good nasty and stick it on him. Stop talking. No, don't give a
Corners, 10 seconds.
No, be serious. Stop wasting energy. Stand up.
Seconds out. Round 5.
Well, two very different stories in those corners. The sense in the Virgo corner was that he's ready to go, that you can get a second stoppage of your career here as Virgo goes further than he's been now as we enter into round 5. No question at all about his fitness, though. He looks good. Bob Williams telling them to get on with it here.
Yeah, well, he does look good, but at the same time, David, it's difficult to knock an opponent out who's constantly on the back foot, moving away from the punch. You've got to try and, draw the jab or draw the punch from your opponent and then meet him head on, and the power then doubles up if he's coming forward. So it's always direction of movement that can produce a lot of knockouts. It's difficult, George, isn't it, when the opponent's moving away. If you connect and he's moving away, the punch power is taken away.
Yeah, always. Virgo landed a good right hand. He's switching now.
Yeah, it was low. It was low. They started the count, but Bob Williams says timeout. Looking again for that left hook to the body and just misjudged it.
Yeah, it was low as well, wasn't it? He's a tough kid, Kearon Thomas, he really is. But one south of the border like that, George,
no, they're never
they're
welcome.
not nice, are they?
No.
Yeah, there's tough kid and then there's tough kid.
Yeah, he's a tough boy.
Yeah, no fighter wants to be in that situation. You want to rush back. It's your natural instinct. I'm fine. But at the same time, you're within your rights to get your breath back. Sometimes you definitely need it.
Time in, box on.
Yeah, sensibly done. Virgo goes straight back on the attack here and straight back to the body. Wonder if Thomas is still feeling the after effects of that. Covers up and then through a left hook of his own.
Well, Virgo knows he's hurt his opponent, doesn't he? And then he just jumped on him there. Landed a couple more. Again, the confidence is there, switching to the southpaw. But again, fair play to Thomas for getting through that. He's weathered the storm again.
Right, step back. Come on, boys. Box on.
Still looks a bit unsteady, Thomas, but he's a real survivor. Final minute of the penultimate round here. Idris Virgo, this social media superstar from Birmingham, up against Kearon Thomas. That fan base of Virgo keeps growing and growing. Some of the fans, it's not entirely to do with the boxing, but you've got to survive in the world. He said he's not struggling to find a date, put it that way.
Well, he's got a lot of fans now, hasn't he?
Bottom breaker.
Let's go. Come on, come on.
Talking now to Thomas. Well, I think they're both talking to each other. But Virgo, good shot there. He wants Thomas to stand and trade, doesn't he? But Thomas sensibly isn't having any of it.
Step back. Stop boxing.
Sorry, mate.
Very much more of the same for Idris Virgo. Good shot there, and Thomas comes back with his own good punch. Thomas always on the move. It's caught with a lovely right hand there as he's breaking away, but that was an example of moving away from the punch, and the power's taken away.
Boxing right, obviously though, it's got to be sleep, bang, sleep, bang, sleep.
He's on forward, he's in the head, bang, big shot, single shot.
Last round coming up, son. We touch block.
And if he tries to grab him,
He's not the hold, you've got to get hurt.
Okay, keep moving. Don't go back in the straight line. When it's out, change him in that left foot. Okay, you've been brilliant. Don't let it get right in this round.
Quarters, 10 seconds.
Don't go back in the straight line.
Seconds out for the 6th and final round.
Yeah, nice bit of respect there at the start of the 6th and final round between Idris Virgo in those black and gold shorts, who's surely won all 5 rounds here, and starts the 6th with a right hand over the top that stiffened the legs there of Kearon Thomas.
That was a good shot, George, wasn't it? I think it was a sloppy punch from Thomas, and sloppy lead hand, and Idris Virgo caught him with that right hand over the top.
Yeah, it did. It looked like it got him on high up on the head. Definitely hurt him. Just took a left hook himself then. Thomas obviously known as the last round now. For a bit more caution to the wind. Might not be so survival mode. Might want to just finish the bout strong.
Of course, that comes with danger of its own. Thomas moves forward, as Richie was pointing out. It might just leave him open to something, because Virgo does still look dangerous in there. In fact, it's always surprising when you watch Idris Virgo. I appreciate largely 4 rounders until this, that he does only have that one stoppage, because he seems to be heavy-handed. He's certainly aggressive and come forward.
It's difficult at times to stop an opponent, you know, over 4 rounds, especially if you know, they ain't necessarily come to win. Sometimes they might get a sense after the first minute or two that they just don't want to get stopped, as opposed to try and win the bout. And it is difficult to stop fighters over 4 rounds. Terrific
left
body
to the
shot.
body again there. And Thomas responding with a straight right hand. Oh, great uppercut as well. Time that, Virgo.
Yes, all from that southpaw as well, Virgo. So that's another ace up his sleeve that he can switch, and he switched quite effectively there. But again, I'd just like to see him try and draw that lead hand of Thomas, and then try and catch him with that right hand over the top. The one he'd thrown at the start of the round. But Thomas, again, fair play to him. He weathered the storm. He took the shot well. He's clever as Thomas. He gets up close and nullifies Idris Virgo's work on the inside. He's earned his money tonight, Thomas has.
Yeah, Kearon Thomas doesn't fight like someone who's only been fighting since last June as a pro. He fights like he's much more seasoned than that. got that air about him. Final 30 seconds. Really good workout this for Idris Virgo. Lots of lessons to be learned in there, and he's still learning them as we head into the final 20 seconds. Thomas has taken plenty and is entitled to be tired here, but his badge of honour will be that he has survived, and he's surviving right until the end here. And he lands the last punch of the fight.
That was a cracking scrap, wasn't it? It really was. I think Thomas played his part there, coming back with some good shots right at the end. Sorry, Virgo, and then Thomas just landed with one shot himself that last 10 seconds or so. Yeah, he'll learn from that, George, won't he, Virgo? It was a good fight. Yeah, I think he dominated it, but at the same time, I think Thomas made him think.
Definitely up at 6 rounds now. Thomas definitely made him think, gave him a lot of stuff that he's got to maybe go back and reflect on and work on as well. For me, lots of stuff that he was doing really, really well, but just slightly out of range, and the way to correct that would be to, you know, really work now on the gym and cutting the ring off. You've got a guy in front of you who wants to be slightly negative, he wants to move around. How do you stop him finding positions in the ring that he, you know, you don't want him to be in? You want to corner him in the, you know, on the ropes.
Good work though, Dave, here from Idris Virgo as a southpaw as well, so plenty there. He'll learn from it, but if he can keep boxing regular as well, he's only going to improve. But this fella, he's played his part tonight as Kearon Thomas.
Well, time to make it official. Bob Williams will call them into the centre of the ring. It should be a formality, and you would expect it to be 60-54 here in Idris Virgo's favour. Nice touch again. Let's get to our MC, Paul Booth.
The super middleweight contest goes the distance after 6 rounds of boxing. Scoring referee Bob Williams decides the bout. He has it at 60 points to 54 points in favour of the winner. Still undefeated, Birmingham's body breaker, Idris Virgo.